All right, welcome back to the TrueStrength podcast. We're on episode 11, guys. We are just knocking these things out. And it's been awesome. We're going to start today. We just need an update from Tanner Shuck. What has your first couple months of fatherhood been like? Give us a quick rundown.
Dude, the first 4 weeks were a lot easier than weeks 5, 6, and 7. So I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm not trying to complain or be negative, but it's been fucking brutal the past 3 weeks. Like Shelby, my baby, she's like super fussy. She gets really bad gas. Taylor sent me a really helpful message on WhatsApp that just kind of a good reminder. Is like when you're in it like this, the days are long, but the years are fast. And I've been telling myself that the past few days because it's brutal. Like the reason I was late to this podcast today because my baby's freaking crying, and I should be helping my wife right now probably, but I'm doing this podcast, but we need to do it. But bro, it's hard. I'll just leave it at that. But it's worth it.
Okay.
It's definitely worth it. It's hard to find that balance, so you're doing a good job, man. Just hang in there.
Yeah, I'm trying. When you got a 7-week-old baby, it's just going to be hard. We're just in the thick of it right now. That's all.
The hurt locker, bro.
Yeah, the hurt locker.
When you
Well
said
said,
that, yeah, true. Hurt locker.
I guess the nice thing is you're going to do this. It's not like you're not going to do it, right? It's just, you're in it and you just keep going through.
Man,
Yeah.
I told Tinica I was going to do dad duty last night, so I stayed up basically until 11:30, 12 to like let the baby fall asleep in my arms, put the baby down. I get into bed around probably 11:30, 12, and then I'm waking up at 4:30 because I got to work out. Me and Scott are going to work out. And I just told myself, all right, this is going to be fucking hard. I'm not going to get good sleep tonight. Doesn't matter. It's just temporary. I'm just going to get through it.
Yeah.
I told somebody the other day, like the power of the removal of choice. Like if you have an issue, you struggle with something, like just eliminate it as an option. Like whether it be food in the house or an activity that you're doing, or like even just saying no, right? Like if somebody offers you something, just say no, man, because it's not a choice, right? When you eliminate the choice, it becomes rather easy. So when people ask you like, how do you do it? It's like, well, I don't have a fucking choice. It's my child. I got
That's it. That's it, man. It's like, I'm going to stay up, help my child. And then I don't give myself a choice to sleep in. I'm going to fucking go work out because I got Scott and Andrew fucking counting on me to go work out. I don't care if I'm on less sleep. I'm going. I just do it. Doesn't matter if I don't feel good today, whatever. So, true.
I did like the story you posted where you were watching a heavy rock concert and you and the baby were sleeping on the sofa.
Yeah, that was. I didn't see Tinica videoed that, but I thought it was cute, so I reposted it. Yeah.
All right.
That's where it's at,
well,
man.
Thanks, Tanner. So the second thing we were literally just talking about a couple minutes ago, but just, Tanner, you were saying you were back squatting 405 and you were seeing stars, and it was, so lifting heavy ass shit, is it better than any bit of recovery or supplement or anything out there? Is it the answer?
Yeah, and I'll just kind of repeat what I told you guys a couple minutes ago. So Taylor brought up a good point. Peptides are like all the craze right now. They're trendy, okay? And you see all of these people, specifically guys, they're more worried about their peptide stack than they are like adding 20 pounds to their back squat or their deadlift, okay? And that's the complete wrong mindset. I guarantee if you just focus on getting strong, you put yourself through hard training, you build up your squat from 315 up to 405. That will do more for your body. You'll build more strength and more muscle than any peptide ever will. Okay? So stop looking for the shortcut, man. Just fucking embrace hard work and actually focus on what really matters. Get 8 hours of sleep. Get stronger at the heavy compounds. Eat good food. Eat enough protein. That's going to do more for you than any fucking whatever NAD supplement or whatever epamorelin peptide. It just will. So stop missing the forest for the trees.
Yeah, to kind of add to that too, I just kind of started thinking about this is like people are putting so much stock in it, right? Because, technology and supplements are kind of coming so far and so long. Like everybody thinks it's like the win all be all, but I think that's coming at the cost of the underestimation of hard work and dedication and just doing, like, enjoying the process. For example, like the enhanced games. Everybody's like, oh man, they're going to blow these times out of the water. It's going to be like not even close. And to be fair, they weren't even close to like the world records and stuff. And that's because the people who are at the top work their fucking ass off. They're regimented, they're disciplined, and they do the work. Yeah, they might be, physically gifted and have genetics, but it's not the drugs that are making people great, dude. It's the work that they do and the process that they enjoy and endure, man. So,
Dude,
yeah,
100%.
do the work.
Like,
Don't fucking swallow pills, man.
yeah.
Do the work.
So that's kind of it. And like, dude, we all still lift heavy. Okay. I mean, dude, lifting heavy is fucking hard. Okay. But that's why, dude, we embrace that. And like, I mean, every one of us at some point has squatted 500 pounds. Not many natural guys can say they've actually done that. And that's why every one of us has a substantial amount of muscle, because we've built that foundation through hard work. Bro, there's no peptide that's going to build you up to a 500-pound squat. That has to be earned. Okay. So it's like, man, just do the work. I hope you guys see stars when you lift. I still see stars. And I know when I see stars, that means I'm doing something right.
My teeth tingle.
Yeah. Good.
Well, even
Dude, I gave myself a little blood, whatever, I had blood in my eye because I was exerting so much that a blood vessel burst in my eye.
Nice.
And I was like, fuck, man, that means I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
that's right.
So-
Even like depression and stuff, like people are taking pills instead of just going and doing something about it. You know what I mean? And even like we talk about TRT a lot. I know guys on TRT that aren't lifting and they're still weak as shit taking TRT. You have to do the work. There's just no way around it.
Dude, it's not. And like, man, depression's another big one. I guarantee there wouldn't, I can't guarantee I shouldn't speak in absolutes, but we'll say 99% of men that suffer from depression, I guarantee if they trained hard, they lifted heavy weights 3-4 days a week, they exercised, they got their heart rate up, that would really eliminate any stress, anxiety, depression that they have. Okay,
it would help for sure.
Exercise is. Yeah, it absolutely. Exercise, training hard, vigorous exercise, is twice as effective as the leading antidepressant medication. Okay, it's right there in front. That's the lowest hanging fruit. People just don't. They're just lazy. They don't do it. You need to freaking move your body and train and exercise. Get out of breath. It's good for you.
Well, let's say you're training hard. Let's say you're training hard like us, and then we're taking all the peptides on top of that. Like, how much benefit do you think that's going to give us?
I would say like 2 to 5% maximum.
Right.
That's my honest opinion. It's like it's the icing on the cake or the cherry on top.
And well, I know because you guys have both taken a couple peptides, right? I mean, did you notice anything?
The healing peptides. Scott, you want to?
That's bullshit. No, I didn't notice anything. Not a single thing. Like literally. And what I tell people is, if you just focus on your sleep, you just go to bed. Literally, just like an extra 30 minutes of sleep, in my opinion, is going to be much more effective than literally any peptide you can take.
Absolutely. I agree. So I've had so many surgeries. I don't want to talk about that, but I've tried things to help me recover or heal up faster. I've taken peptides like BPC 157, TB 500. There's another one called KPV. And I didn't notice anything, if I'm being honest. I think I want to believe that they helped because I spent money on them. And so, even if they helped through like the placebo effect, that's good. But I cannot tell you with 100% certainty that I had any noticeable difference. If there was a difference, I think it was marginal at best. So that's my honest take on peptides.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. So, point is, we all have to fucking train heavy, and
here I got one. This is a good takeaway. Okay, if you're listening to this podcast, okay, if you can't overhead press 1 plate, bench 2 plates, squat 3 plates, deadlift 4 plates, you have no business worrying about peptides or steroids. You really don't, because you're not even a lifter. If you can't do 10 pull-ups or 10 dips and you're not in the 1, 2, 3, 4 plate club, you're wasting your time. Get strong at 6 exercises. Bring up your squat, deadlift, bench press, overhead press, pull up and dip. And that's going to do more for you than any peptide stack ever will.
Are those numbers irregardless of body weight?
I don't really want to get into the specifics of it, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yes,
you
it
know,
is.
but just
Yeah, so I agree.
yeah, we can go into that. Just every able-bodied guy can realistically hit all of those numbers. And
If
the
you
reason
put
why
in the work.
pull-ups and dips, the pull-ups and the dips are important because that it's going to ensure that you're not fat and overweight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why you're going to be balanced.
I would say that's, yeah, I would agree with you. I would say it's just a good standard for any guy, period, regardless of body weight.
Thank you, Scott. Well said. Yep.
And any guy that can do those 4 lifts has trained. Like I don't know if anyone can really do that without training. Maybe a couple freaks, a couple of those Samoan boys or something like that. But.
Yeah, dude, any guy that can do those 4 lifts for those weights, they can do 10 pull-ups and dips. That guy's going to have a significant amount of muscle tissue on his frame.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's going to be a healthy and capable guy.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Okay. We're going to get into some questions from our clients and those that have submitted. We're going to start with our guy Scott Staines, and he says, you often talk about how trainers overcomplicate things with fancy conditioning circuits or cable variations just to sell programs. What is the psychological trap that makes people fall for hype over basic compound movements? I mean, Scott, I'll answer this quickly. I mean, I think people they want to see variety. They want to see new things. They want to almost feel like they know they're doing something new, something different. And, I think like a lot of us kind of think the new thing is the better thing. This is one of those cases where the new thing is not really the better thing. You want to hit the basics and just do them well.
absolutely. That's very, very well said, John. I wasn't going to say it nearly as eloquently, but essentially, most people, they don't understand training or basic physiology or biology, and people get distracted by shiny objects. So do not get distracted by shiny objects.
Well, yeah, I mean, complexity looks like expertise and novelty feels like progress,
Yeah.
That's kind of the two sides I think of it, the trainer side and then like the client side. So if you can kind of reverse that psychology or that way of thinking, then you're going to be better off.
Yeah, way better off.
And I don't know if you guys saw in True Coach, I sent a video to all of our clients.
Yeah, I did.
If you guys watched
you look
it,
jacked. You look jacked in that.
AI, bro.
Fucking
AI.
But basically, it was just like, because we did have a client, I can't remember who it was, and they said, hey, should I start adding weight to my pull-ups? And the guy couldn't get, like, I think he was failing at 6 or 8 pull-ups, and by the end, he was having to kip up, and, it's just like, hey, let's get really good at this one basic movement. And it's hard, to do just perfect, strict, hollow pull-ups. And just kind of the point is like, get good at those before you start adding weight and sort of, walk before you run, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Scott Staines has a second question. He says, if I'm close to going over my calories for the day, but I haven't hit my protein goal, would you suggest staying under my calories or hitting my protein goal and going over my calories? Tanner?
Speaking specifically to Scott Staines, I would stay under your calorie limit, your calorie target. If you miss your protein one day, it's not going to make a big difference. Okay, it's just one day. But what you really should do is prioritize protein, hit your protein target as fast as you can throughout the day so that doesn't happen again. But if it's just a one-day thing or occasionally, calories, man, they're just going to take precedent over the protein target if your goal is fat loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to agree and say it depends on what your goal is, right? If you're trying to, stack on weight, then obviously you want to get the protein in. But if you're trying to lose weight, calories are going to be king because, the law of thermodynamics.
There you go.
And then,
even
oh,
go
sorry.
ahead,
Go
John.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, even if you're trying to lose weight, though, you still want to prioritize the protein. Take the protein first approach, because then you're not going to be hungry enough to eat other bullshit like carbs. Period. And a good strategy to use is front load your protein. Protein shake first thing in the morning. Stack the protein at the beginning of the day, so this doesn't happen, Scott.
That
Yeah,
was exactly what I was going to say, Scott, is it doesn't sound like you're prioritizing your protein.
Yeah,
So,
here's a good rule for everybody listening to this. Try to hit 100 grams of protein as fast as you can throughout the day. If you can hit 100 grams of protein before 12 p.m., before noon, dude, I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for success.
okay. Next question comes from our Canadian Bruno over in Quebec, and he says, "Who and or what has influenced your style of online coaching and programming the most?"
Could we, man, I need to read that.
Who or
John, did you
what
put that in the
has?
chat?
I did.
Who or what? Oh, yeah. Who or what has influenced your style of online?
Of online specifically.
Well, I think because he's one of our clients, so he's saying, "Hey, what has influenced this program I'm doing?" Basically.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Go ahead, Tanner.
there's no online influencer that influenced me the most because, dude, I've been training before freaking social media. Like, my dad taught me squats and deadlifts when I was a kid. And then me and Scott's college strength coaches, they taught us real training, okay, playing college football. And that's when I literally we were at our strongest, biggest, most muscular. And dude, our program was built around fucking back squats, front squats, heavy clean pulls, okay, bench press, pull ups, and dips. Like just the real training. Like there's no influencer that influenced me on how to train. I learned that shit literally by immersion, by having to do it, putting myself through it, or having really good strength coaches putting me through it. That's how I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of similar when like I've been
Okay.
training for a long time before social media and before all the influence of fads and stuff kind of came along. Right. And I guess for me, it actually happened in high school. When I first started and got into high school, we were doing, Olympic lifting, big, heavy squats, things like that. And that was by my coach, whose name was Sydney Maxwell. And we were just ahead of the curve, man. We were doing like, ripcord training, overspeed training, med ball plyometrics, all this kind of stuff that exposed us to explosiveness, athletic training in the process. So I would say my high school coach, Sydney Maxwell, before anything else. And then obviously in college, like training with Tim Rabbis at Oregon State, who was one of the best Olympic weightlifters in America. And then obviously the implementation of the Windler 531, which will kind of lead into, I guess, his next question would be what kind of, the most for me.
Yeah. And I mean, Tanner, I know with you too, like there was a guy that was coaching me, Max Ida and Colin Burns. And I mean,
Yep.
I learned a lot of stuff from programming from those guys, just like, strength and periodization, that sort of thing. And I've taken that and used that for years and years. So,
Yep.
but
I'll just tell you. Oh, go ahead, John. Finish.
no. Well, now go ahead, Tanner, because I was going to go to the next question.
I think what I learned from you, this is back, I think, in 2014 or 2015 when you were taking coaching from Colin Burns and Max Ida. I call it the accumulation phase. Okay. It's usually the first 4 to 6 week block of training that we put most clients through. I just finished doing the first 6 weeks of programming for our client, Colin Laguza, and I built out his 4-week accumulation phase. And I learned that from you. And I personally, it's been, of all my coaching experience, I've had the most success with clients not doing a 5-3-1 from the beginning, but actually doing an accumulation phase, doing more reps, because most people have been grossly underexposed to squats, deadlifts, presses. And so only doing 5-3-1s, lifting heavy when you're still a novice lifter, to me, it doesn't make sense. You're going to have way more success if you actually train these movement patterns hard with moderate weight, but for more reps for 4 to 6 weeks before you ever even worry about going into 5s, 3s, or 1s, or 8s, 6s, 5s, whatever it is. That's been my experience. And that's why I use that accumulation phase for most of our clients. And I put myself through a 3-week accumulation phase, 4 weeks ago before I got into my 405 squats. So I still go back to that.
I
Yeah,
love
it's
that. Dude. Yeah, the 40, you get 40 reps, you get 40 reps right then and there like that. And then you do that over 3-4 weeks. That's a shit ton of reps.
Fuck yeah. And bro,
I
it
love
sets you up
that.
nicely. It really does.
we
So
had a client I put on acclimation phase a little while ago. He did his first set of 10 at 285, and he hadn't done that much volume in years, and his legs cramped up and he couldn't walk the rest of the day. And he was
it's
just
'cause-
like, man, I need to get into
Well
shape.
done.
And I was like,
Well
fuck
done.
yeah.
bro, that's because he's untrained. He needs that stimulus. He needs to go through that. So he's forced to adapt. Okay.
All right.
It's
So
good.
Bruno's second question says, I know a program is more than just a rep scheme, but I'm curious to know if any of you have a personal favorite other than 865. If so, which and why? And also any thoughts or experience with using step loading?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Does
Tanner,
anyone
go
want to
ahead.
cover that? Man, I feel bad like I'm talking all the time. Is that bad? Okay, I'll answer.
We sign up
I'll be
for,
very,
we want to listen to Tanner.
okay. Well, I'll be very quick. So my personal favorite is, bro, it's one of the most simple, and we use it for many clients. It's the 3x8, 4x6, 5x5 3-week wave, and it works remarkably well for really 99% of people, and it can work for a very long time, and you won't actually have to change it. You just keep adding weight to those rep schemes every 3 weeks. And dude, I love the elegance of it. It's so simple and it's very effective. That's my personal favorite. And you can run that for a long time for clients without changing it. The clients will get stronger without hitting a plateau. And then honestly, I feel like we change it just to avoid monotony with our clients. Okay. So it's not too, so they don't get just too bored of it. But we change it not because it stops working, but just to avoid the repetitiveness of it. It works so good. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm going to say wave as well. I like, and it doesn't have to be in 865 wave. Me personally, I like a heavy 3-2-1 Olympic lifting wave, like a snatch or a clean wave. And then with the bigger, I guess, heavier back squat, like a 6-4-2. But just the fact that you decrease the reps, you increase the weight, and it's kind of that undulating, progression. That's clearly my favorite.
Yeah.
And I do like going for kind of maxes and RPE stuff. I find it works quite well, but you guys don't seem to be big fans of it. So,
Hey, dude, just man, John, you're strong, dude. If it fucking works for you, bro, I would listen to it.
When you're as strong as you are and you look how you lift, bro, you can do what you want.
What was the second part of his question? It was about step loading.
Yeah, I don't know what step loading is.
Yeah, so I think I know what step loading is, and this is I think me and Scott are going through a step loading program right now. Essentially, step loading, from my understanding, it can be different from coach to coach as well. It's basically when you take a weight, like say 225 on bench, and this is what we're doing right now. We go 5 sets of 3 at 225 week 1, 5 sets of 4 at 225 week 4, or week 2, 5 sets of 5 at 225 week 3. So you basically just step up the reps, but you keep the weight the same for a period of however many weeks. And then once you reach a certain amount of volume, or you hit all your sets and reps at a certain weight, then you can add weight and you repeat that process. It's a great, very simple program that's just using progressive overload another way.
Yeah.
Works.
Well,
It works.
Did we bring up Windler too? Like that's another variation. I love the 865s, like Tanner and Bruno are talking about here. That's my personal favorite. Next up is Windler. I feel like the 865s kind of builds the engine, and then the Windler, the 531s kind of teach how to drive it, that heavy weight.
Yeah.
So I like those kind of two together, and I'll switch back and forth and pretty much exclusively do that.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys really quickly. Jim Wendler's famous for that, for creating the 531, and essentially all that is a 3-week wave.
Yeah.
And then
I do
where he got popular and smart is because he developed that training max, where you basically take 90% of your 1 rep max and then use that as your training max. So essentially all you're really doing is you're doing a week of 5s at like 60%, your real 60%. Then you're doing your 3s at like 70, 75%. Then you're doing your 1s or your 5-3-1 at around 80% of your true 1 rep max. Then you just repeat that 3-week wave and you add whatever 5 or 10 pounds to your training max and you repeat that. Okay, so Jim Wendler was the first one to write that down and make a book about it. But I'm pretty sure people were doing 3-week waves long before Jim Wendler ever did it or he ever authored his 5-3-1 thing. People have been doing wave loading for probably 50 years. So that's just it. That's just the one that happens to be the most popular.
Well, and I think he made it. I think he made it because he saw people doing 1 rep maxes over and over and just grinding them out, not getting stronger. So then doing the waves
and then he figured out, all right, let's not use a true 1 rep max, let's use a training max.
Right.
And so let's get people actually training in their 60, 70, 80% range, so they're not maxing it all the time, so they actually can get stronger.
His book on that is pretty, it's like 50 something pages, man. It's direct, straight to the point. It's a really easy, good read. If you're interested in that, you can read that thing in like 20 minutes, dude. It's a really good, he lays it out real well, man.
No, I'm glad he wrote it, but I personally think that strength coaches have been using a 3-week wave loading style of training long before he ever wrote that book.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah. Anyways.
And then Bruno's last question, he says a quick one, is the 1, 2, 3, 4 strength standard for the big 4 lifts referring to 1 rep maxes, or are people expected to rep those? So he's saying a strict press of 1 plate, 135, bench of 2 plates, 225, squat of 3 plates at 315, and deadlift of 4 plates at 405. I think for 10 at least, right?
All right. Dude, I've literally been making a YouTube video where I'm going to script this out because I get asked this question a lot. Okay. Yes. Well, at first, if you don't even have a 1, 2, 3, 4 plate lift, those obviously are going to be your 1 rep maxes at first. Then you need to turn those into your 5 rep maxes. Then you can turn those into your 10 rep maxes. Bro, once you get those to either your 5 rep or your 10 RM, then you've graduated the 1, 2, 3, 4 plate club. Then you need to start going to the body weight standard of the lifts, the 0.75 to body weight overhead press, the 1.5 body weight bench, double body weight squat, 2.5 body weight deadlift.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully. Yeah. Anyways.
Great. Our next question comes from Anthony Ramirez, and he says, coaches, what are the pros and cons of the 5-3-1 program? I think we've pretty much just touched on that. So, I think we can kind of shoot past
I'll answer that very quickly for Anthony. The cons of it is you're always staying in those strength numbers, 5s, 3s, and 1s, and you're missing out on a lot of inherent value with those higher rep schemes like the 8s, the 10s. Those are the pros and those are the cons of the 5-3-1 in my opinion.
Well, and quickly, the pro is it saves you from yourself. So you're training off your 90%, so kind of saves you from yourself.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Next one comes from Rob Swiek. And he says,
Dr. Rob, call him Dr. Rob.
Dr. Rob. He says, what's the biggest mistake you made early on in your lifting journey that you wish you could fix? I mean, I think we've talked about this in the past for sure. Taylor, what would you change or fix?
This is gonna sound a little bit, I guess, narcissistic to a point, but honestly, I don't think I would change too much because I was guided and developed by really, really good coaches who really weren't allowing us to, I guess, stray off the path. All right. So for almost my whole entire life until after, university, I had a strength coach who was monitoring, programming, and supervising us when we were lifting. All right. And we had great Olympic lifting protocols. We had great facilities. We kind of had all that stuff. So I had a really, really good foundation and kind of cultivated a love and understanding for strength and conditioning. So my personal, I guess, experience is that I've dabbled with things here and there, but I don't think I've ever really, shit the bed when it comes to programming or anything like that. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but I think what a lot of people do, kind of like we just spoke about, is they lift too heavy too often because they believe that that's the only stimulus worth getting after. But I would say you need to find a good coach who can supervise you and, keep you on the path.
Avoid those mistakes to help you avoid
What about
those
you,
next
Scott?
mistakes.
For me, what was I gonna say? Really, for me, it's stopping the training, ever stopping or changing anything. After I was done playing football, I took time off. I took too much time off. I stopped squatting. I got into different things, like more like bodybuilding stuff. And what I tell people is the easiest and the best way to get stronger is to never lose your strength, and that's probably the one thing I would have done differently to stay strong.
Yeah. So I'll answer that. For myself, the biggest training mistakes I made was deviating from the basics. And that kind of happened because I finished playing college football. Then I got into CrossFit because I was looking for a competitive outlet. And then I started doing just random training because I thought that was the right thing to do. And I realized after about 12 months of doing CrossFit and getting weaker, I was like, all right, this is doing constantly varied random workouts is not actually the right thing to do. So deviating from the basics, not keeping barbells in my training all the time. And then my other biggest mistake for my own training is training through pain or training through injury. If I could go back, I would not do that. That really, it really cost me my CrossFit career, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's it for me.
And I'm pretty much just there's been times I've stopped or I've focused on other things, and it should have just been always just never stop training and never stop training the main lifts consistently. So, you won't go wrong with that. You won't go wrong with that.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, very good question. And then Rob's second question: what is the one accessory exercise, if any, that added most to your squat, bench, and deadlift? One accessory that's added the most to your squat, bench, and deadlift.
For squat, a pause squat, no question there. Pause squat for the squat helps you develop the whole, helps you push through both sides evenly. Man, it's that's fixed my squat a lot. So definitely pause squat for that one. I want to take the rest.
Scott, you talk about bench because you have a big bench. John, I'm curious to know what John and Scott's best accessory for bench would be.
I think band pull aparts. Band pull aparts after each set of bench. That's what I have done forever. That's what I continue to do. I know it's not the answer you want, but it's what you.
No, it's like, dude, I love that. I love that. I wasn't expecting that, but that's good.
And mine's actually like anytime I bench, it's always paired with a pull. Just because like you just don't want to be, so you push so much that you don't have I think it always has to be a push and pull. So it's whether it's supersetted or it's the next thing I do right after bench is always a pull, 100%.
Well, have you ever heard that expression? You can't fire a cannon from a canoe.
Yes.
That's like why I do the pulls with the pulls with the press with the bench.
Yeah. John, I just thought of a good discussion topic we could talk about next week in a future podcast. Like, you could talk about a push-pull leg split and why we don't do that. I think that would be because that split is like ubiquitous all over like everyone thinks that's the best split, and I hate that split. So
I'll write it down. Taylor had a good one too.
Okay, good. Rob's other question, it was the best accessory lift for the squat,
bench and
the
deadlift,
bench, and then also the deadlift. Dang, man.
I mean, look,
I can answer two of them.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say if you want to get better your deadlift, the best accessory lift is a squat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So whatever contributes to your squat will contribute to your deadlift. For me, I would say heavy ass split squats, right? And it doesn't even necessarily need to be a rear elevated split squat, but doing a heavy ass barbell split squat was the number one thing that helped elevate my squat. And then dips, man. Doing dips has helped my bench in so many capacities, bro.
Hell yeah. Damn, John, I love that answer. I was actually racking my brain for a deadlift accessory to build up my deadlift. Dude, I've never really used one that I thought made a difference. I just fucking do deadlifts and they've gone up. But I have noticed when my squat is strong, my deadlift is always strong too. And if you
Well,
just think about that, go ahead, Scott.
Well, John, you go.
I was just going to say, I don't know if you remember, back when I was Olympic weightlifting, and I was squatting over 500, I didn't do any deadlifts. Obviously did a lot of pulls, but I just, chucked on 600 and tried it, and it was easy.
Fucking pulled it.
Right. Just
No
because,
deadlift training.
why not?
And I think I know why that is for people. Okay. And it's because squat, it literally just builds the most muscle and the most strength. And then, bro, if your squat is strong, you have more leg drive from the floor when
That's
you're doing
it.
a deadlift. And so it's like, dude, you can just literally, because people think of the deadlift, they think of it as a pull. I always think of it as a push, like literally just pushing the floor away from me. Bro, if I have more strength in my legs, I can push the floor away harder and I can pull that deadlift. So, yeah, good answer, John.
Sorry, Scott,
Well,
what were you saying?
So I got one for deadlift. I just thought of this. Pause deadlifts. Pause deadlifts. Tanner is already very technically good at doing deadlifts, but if you need help with the positioning, if you need help with the positioning, doing pause deadlifts, I found very beneficial. It gets you all organized, helps you get your back straightened so you're not breaking as you're bringing the bar up and through. I think that's a really good accessory for deadlifts.
Yep. Right.
All right.
Good questions from Rob.
Yeah.
Dr. Rob.
Grant Burnett, he says, smash or pass, farmer's carry.
Damn, I like this question. I like this a lot. We all got to make a call.
Smash or pass, farmer's carry. Taylor, smash or pass?
Smash it.
Yeah. Scott?
Pass.
Pass. Tanner?
Don't waste your time.
Pass.
I'm going to say smash, especially if you're someone who struggles with grip strength. It'd be good for you. It'd be good for you.
All right.
I'm going to say grip strength is completely correlated to longevity. All right. And there's going to be a few things that help your grip strength more than holding on to something heavy for a long ass time.
Well, that's what they've tested, but what about squats? Is heavy squats tied to your longevity? It has to be. They just haven't tested for it.
Yeah,
and
no, it is tied to your longevity, bro. Quad circumference correlated with longevity coming from squats.
But okay, I do. Let's touch on that grip strength and longevity thing because I've heard it a lot. Just keep in mind, I mean, if you take the general population, so not us type of people, but general people, and you test grip strength, who are going to be the people with grip strength? The people that lift. The people that don't have grip strength do nothing physical. And that's just really what it is, right?
It's so I know when they did that study it's gotten very popular. They tested old people and they specifically tested grip strength because that's the only thing that all old people could still do. And so it was the only way to standardize that test. And if you really think about this, yes, if you have a stronger grip, it's not just that your grip's stronger, your entire body's going to be stronger because you've just been a more active person, when you get into old age. But I guarantee leg strength, okay, is just as correlated or even more correlated to life expectancy as grip strength. It's just, bro, it's all strength. But if you freaking have a strong grip, the chances are the rest of your body is going to be stronger as well. Okay. Yeah. So, but really leg strength, in my opinion, is the separator. Go ahead, Taylor.
It's not just for the grip strength, right? I think your ability to maintain shoulder engagement, upright posture, and the transitioning of heavier, like post maximal body weight from heel to toe, being able to establish that motor pattern with that load while maintaining your midline stability, that's only going to contribute more to your deadlift, to everything, right? Because if you're starting around and pull forward, man, you need to be able to open up the shoulder, activate the lats, and keep that posture. I think it's just going to be, I don't think it would be detrimental to do a farmer's carry. That's why I would smash it.
No, dude, absolutely not detrimental. God, Grant, you really put us down a rabbit hole. And I'll just tell you why I passed on farmer's carry is because I don't do it in my training hardly ever. Even now I'm deadlifting pretty heavy. when I was deadlifting like close to 600 pounds, I wasn't doing any farmer's carries, but I did this random CrossFit workout because I wanted to film videos for my YouTube video or something. And I put 500 pounds on a fucking trap bar. Bro, I had no issue picking that bitch up and carrying it 50 meters down, 50 meters back. And I wasn't doing any farmer's carry, but my deadlift was strong. So I just had the ability to pick that weight up and carry it. So that's why farmer's carries are great. But dude, if you build up a big deadlift, you're probably gonna have your grip strength's gonna be fine, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways,
All
what
right.
was the next one?
Smash
Sorry,
or pass Zerker squats?
Pass.
Pass.
I just
I
don't want
have
to
to
hold
say
that shit on my
smash.
fucking tendon. Like, I don't want to do that shit. I'll just put it
So
on
what
my
was that,
back, man.
Scott?
I have to say smash because it's a back thing, you know. Like if you have a bad
Okay.
back, I think it's a great exercise.
all right,
If you're worried
Scott,
about
that's
your
a
back.
valid answer. But listen, Taylor, John, just give me a high five, guys. High fives, okay? I think Zercher squat, if you don't have back issues, is the most overrated exercise that's trending on social media right now. I see it
agree.
all the time. These guys, oh, I can Zercher squat 405. I'm so strong, 405 Zercher squat, 10 reps. I'm like, motherfucker, you probably can't even front squat 365 for 1 rep. Okay? If you front squat heavy and you can back squat heavy, I guarantee you're going to have no issues doing a heavy Zercher squat. The strength will be there. I think Zercher squats are grossly overrated for most lifters, and people do it just because they think they look cool. I will say, in your defense, Scott, it's good for back engagement and it can strengthen your back, but I think Zercher squats, I would do a barbell back squat and a barbell front squat all day over Zercher squats.
It's
That's my
my
opinion.
least. It's the lowest on the tier of the back. You know, the safe back squat patterns because it's barely. I would say it's barely even a squat pattern. You know, but
It's just so much easier because you're holding the bar lower, closer to your center of mass, your hips. It's a fucking easier ass squat. It just is. Like, dude, you did fucking those pause front squats yesterday, Scott. That shit's way harder than Zercher squats.
no doubt, and that's most people. I would say, hey, go to a front squat if you have a bad back. But if you can't do that, then the next is Zerchers. It's the very bottom of my list, but I have to pass it because I'm the back guy.
Yeah, it's fair. Or you have to smash it. I know what you're saying.
Smash it, excuse me.
Yeah.
Taylor
I'll put
and
this.
Scott. Oh, sorry.
I would just say I would choose a Zercher squat over a leg press. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Right.
Okay.
Taylor and Scott, I think we have to start coming up the list of things that really trigger Tanner because it's a growing list. Okay. I mean, Robert Farinelli has a question for us, and this one I'm gonna give me a minute to read it out. I'll send it to you guys too.
Put that to ChatGPT and condense it and tell it to ask a question in few words.
It's going to be for you, Tanner, because it says he watched your short ranking cardio methods. When you have sprinting, running, zone 2 cardio, you ranked running B tier and zone 2 C tier. What's the difference when he meant running? Did you mean zone 3 to zone 4 running versus sprinting zone 5? Robert, you're overthinking this one.
Yeah. Bless Robert Farinelli. I love that guy.
I think he's thinking about it a lot more than Tanner did when he made the.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just thinking when I make content, I'm not thinking of a certain client. I'm thinking of the general population people, okay? And like what actually gives them value or the most benefit. And I think running or doing zone 2 cardio gives people not as much value as like doing hard sprinting or like assault bike or rowing intervals. Okay, so that's why I ranked that where it was. But remember, training specific, Robert specifically trains to go on long hikes. He does long endurance work. So doing zone 2 work for Robert is important. So Robert, you could rank zone 2 cardio as G tier for yourself. Okay. But when I make content, it's not for you, Robert. It's for the general population. Just bear that in mind, please.
All right. From Abdul Aziz, he says, my shoulder pain has gotten a lot better over the last few months. Any advice for relief of his shoulder pain. Need to be a little more specific with what it is and what's kind of hurting. But one of the things, I mean, we always say is like a lot of dead hangs and that stuff, and hopefully just, stretch out your shoulders. But it's
Yeah.
a case by
Also,
case thing.
yeah, I like dry needling too. I do that. I'm doing that tomorrow. And then I have that thing where it's like, fuck your shoulder. Okay, bro, your shoulder's gonna fucking hurt sometimes. Like my shoulder hurt yesterday or it hurt today, before I was warming up on my bench press. I don't fucking care, man. I just did it anyway because my shoulder's been, it aches, but there's a difference between a pain and, an actual injury. So a lot of times you just kind of deal with it and just manage it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And we talk like things always hurt, particularly shoulders.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on flavored creatine? His favorite is raspberry flavor.
I think
Oh
that's
my God,
pussy shit. You got to go
that's-
strawberry lemonade.
That is so.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm joking about that, but yeah.
routine doesn't
But-
taste like anything. That's such a waste of flavor.
Yeah, I mean, just get some unflavored, throw it in some orange juice or something like that.
There you
100%.
go.
I think
Water.
that take it is more important than whether or not it's
Yeah, dude,
flavored.
whether it's flavored or not, take it. Thank you. Taylor, thank you. That's it.
All right. The next one comes from Madar, and he says, if a person's main goal in the gym is to get stronger in the main lift, what would you recommend nutrition-wise if he's in a calorie deficit? Is it to switch to a small calorie surplus? Yeah, so if the main goal in the gym is to get stronger in the main lifts, you are probably going to be better off in a small calorie surplus than a calorie deficit. That is 100%. I think you guys would all agree.
I think he answered his own question by the way he wrote it.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, and this is a good one, and it's important. Comes from Jason DeLeo. DeLeo.
It's Dutch, I believe. He spells that name a bit odd. Jason DeLeo, really nice guy, really good guy.
Okay, and his question is how to stay on track when traveling, airplane all day long. How do you stay on track when you're away, and do you bother? Should you just enjoy vacation? Scott.
I got to go after this one, guys. Hope y'all have a good week. But I'll just say this: take protein with you. Just take whenever I travel. Depending on where I'm going, if I'm going somewhere in the States where I can buy protein, or literally get it Amazon shipped to my hotel or Airbnb, then I'll do that. But just take protein with you. I know Tanner, he's going to say he brings little baggies and stuff. Do it that way. I'll just bring the whole tub and just put it in my suitcase. Just take it with you. Problem solved, right? That's my strategy.
Yes. Taylor, you want to answer that? I got some little tidbits, but
Yeah,
Rather
I'll
go-
kind of answer it piece by piece. See, Scott. When
Scott.
I'm traveling, typically I will fast when I travel. So before I leave the house, whether I'm flying or it's going to be a long drive, I'll eat a big meal, try to fill myself up because I know that I'm not going to eat when I'm traveling. And it's not because I believe fasting is an excellent way to cope with travel or anything like that. It's just the fact that I know in airports and all that kind of stuff, I'm probably not going to have access to high quality food. And I refuse to eat low quality shit food. All right. And that's all you're really going to find in airports and things like that. So I'd literally rather not eat because I think the benefits of having a little bit of a fasted state, not being in a calorie deficit for a couple of days, I think that's going to be far more advantageous than me, eating something from an airport, or definitely not on a fucking airplane because it's terrible for you. All right. And then again, I will bring a protein or something with me, okay, because protein is always going to be in priority. All right. So when I travel, I really don't even care about the calories I'm getting, just as long as I'm eating enough protein. Right. And that's honestly, again, a pet peeve of mine is when people relate enjoyment of life or any kind of activity with food. Okay. For me, food should not and is not really any enjoyment of my life. Okay. Yes, I can eat good flavored food and things like that, but I really wish people would stop associating food with enjoyment. Okay. Because I think the fact of preparing good, healthy food and enjoying that with people is how I would enjoy food more so than just kind of the food itself. So I know that might not be what people want to fucking hear, but that's my perspective, man.
no, dude, that's the truth. You need to speak the truth. John, do you want me to answer that? Or do you want to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Taylor said everything, but I say this to people all the time, man. When you fail to plan, that's the same thing as planning to fail. Okay, dude, if when you travel, you plan that. You know you're going to be traveling. So take food with you. Boil up a dozen eggs. Take a dozen hard-boiled eggs with you. Okay. If you don't plan and you don't have access to high quality food, I literally just will not eat that day. I would rather eat nothing than eat low quality shit food because I know I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die if I don't eat for 24 hours. Okay. And that's just how you think about it, bro. And just every time you just prioritize protein, like what Scott said. And even at airports, you can go to like one of those little, you can go buy like beef sticks or you can go buy like a bag of almonds or some shit. You can still find something to eat that's reasonably healthy. So, dude, it's just all comes down to your choices. And what it really comes down to is your standards. Okay. And so if you're going to take True Strength Custom Coaching, if you're going to listen to this podcast, raise your standards. All right. That's what I would tell you. And the second question, should you just enjoy your vacation? Dude, you're going to, why not enjoy your whole life all the time? And the way you're going to enjoy your life is you're going to be strong, lean, fit, and healthy. Okay. And if you really just think about enjoying your life as really what you're doing is poisoning yourself with alcohol and low quality shit food, dude, you're really actually just trading short-term pleasure and you're causing yourself long-term pain and you're reinforcing an unhealthy relationship with food or alcohol. So change your mindset about that, Jason. That's what I really want you to think about.
All right. Jason, I'm going to have a very different answer than these other two guys. All right. And so, I mean, I think it's important to also understand, like, what are you talking when you say vacation? Are we talking 3 days? Are we talking a week? Are we talking 2 weeks? Are we talking a month? Because those are very different things. I know, if if me and my wife, we're going away and we're going to go to, let's say, we can go to Italy for a couple days from here, or say even a week. If I'm going to Italy and, I think Italian food is incredible, I'm going to eat it while I'm there. I'm not going to think too much about it. But yes, I'm going to do my best to get my protein in. I know I'm going to move a lot, but my grandmother, she's 97, still alive. She always said to us, "Hey, some families, they they eat to live. In our family, we live to eat because, the family's always gathered around good food and that sort of thing." Kind of my point is, like, look, if you're going for a couple days and you're in a new place and there's new cuisine, I think you go for it and you just don't be too worried. Just don't be an asshole. But, if you are going for really like more than sort of 4 or 5 days and this happens constantly, then you have to be disciplined. You can't do that every month or every couple months. If it's twice a year, I think you're okay. But if it's, constant, you gotta be better. You gotta do what these two guys said. So that's my answer.
What's the next question? Yeah, it's good.
That's it, guys. That's
context
it.
matters. Oh, that was the questions?
Those are the questions. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this though, like when we went to Italy for your wedding with Tanner, okay, number one, it's really easy to travel as somebody who basically shares your mindset on 90% of lifestyle factors. But even like in Italy, like I didn't eat or drink a single bad thing as far as taste goes, or really as far as health is concerned, man. Like the steakhouses and shit were phenomenal. The coffee in the cafes were excellent. Like we went into gelato shops, and I know Tenica enjoyed her gelato. We just would get these cups of fruit that were freaking fantastic. All right. So, I mean, you can still enjoy the food in the country in which you're in within reason. Right. And even if you're going to indulge here and there, man, like I think a lot of people, this is kind of a tangent, they get, I guess, over anxious about what a little bit of time off or a little bit of deviation from a routine is going to do. All right. Mm-hmm. Like if you're out and you're moving and you're eating some pretty good food and you're just active, like you're not going to lose everything that you've worked for, man. Like people do just need to fucking chill out a little bit. Okay. And understand that the body's it's resilient. It's going to give you what you want, and it needs a little break and time off from time to time, man. So don't stress about all that too much.
Yeah, so context certainly matters.
And I'll just add to that too, because after my wedding, we stayed in Italy for 2 weeks and our honeymoon. I didn't, I didn't try and really eat any certain way. But we did, I think we averaged just over 20,000 steps a day. And in Italy, there's not as much protein as other places. I lost, I think in those 2 weeks, like almost 5 kilos, just over 5 kilos. Like I lost a ton of weight. So, just, if you're moving and stuff, very helpful, and, high quality food does matter. So, all right, fellas. Well, hey, appreciate it. That's a good hour right there. We'll be back next week. And
Great.
just
John, these podcasts are kick ass, dude. We're getting a lot of good positive feedback. I want to thank you for starting it and being consistent with it and getting us together. I really enjoy these every week.
And organizing, man. Thank you so much.
Fuck yeah. And organizing it.
For everyone listening,
Listening.
keep getting fucking strong. That's what we're here for.
Hell yeah. Hell
All
yeah.
right.